Now entering the atmosphere of Planet Zero. Scanning for signals. Incoming broadcast. Shift destination. DSS page journal. Begin transmission.
Hey Christian, how you doing today?
Hey Eric.
I have a surprise for you. Actually, I wrote down something.
A surprise?
Yeah,
I learned how to write for this.
I wrote a song for. I came up with a theme song for Doom Patrol. You know, I mean, I know the Doom Patrol already has like a bomb soundtrack on the show, but I had an idea if they ever had like their animated show.
Is it the one that we sing when we play video games?
You never heard this before.
Okay.
So I wrote this down the other day. Are you ready for it?
Okay.
All right, it goes like this. Do-do-do-do-doom patrol. Do-do-do-do-doom patrol. Do-do-do-do-doom patrol. Doom Patrol. What do you think of that? Took me all last night to write that.
It took you the entire night to write that?
Yeah, man.
What were you doing? Were you trying to find inspiration from anywhere?
Hell's Divers.
Oh, we were playing Hell Divers?
There's something about diving into hell gives you inspiration to write
This
music.
reminds me of when we used to play Call of Duty, and anytime it was the situation started getting risky in war zones, you used to just go da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, all right. I wonder where you get that tune from.
Oh man, well, it's different from the X-Men theme.
100%.
Because the X-Men theme goes da-da-da-da-da. This one goes do-do-do-do-do.
Okay. It's not da-da-da, it's do-do-do.
Yeah, I'm getting sick and tired of people saying the X-Men and Doom Patrol are so alike. They're not. Two different theme songs.
Yeah. One of them's got a guy with a wheelchair, and one of them's got a guy with a wheelchair that
and
has
a full
wacky weapons.
And a full set of hair, too.
And a full set of hair.
And beard. Hey, everybody. Welcome to
the book club from Planet Zero.
Yeah, I'm Eric, and this is my co-host, Christian.
Full co-host. We got the paperwork finally finalized.
Okay, yeah.
It got turned in. That's right, because the first rule of improv is you can't say no, so you have to say yes to this bit that I am a full co-host.
You got me.
Yep.
You got me in the improv.
You got me in the rules.
And I thought you always hated improv.
I do. You should have broken the rule. I would have respected you more.
Because you hate improv. It's okay for you to break it because you don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, no, it's not. Moving on. Today, guys, we're talking more about Swamp Thing.
Dude, our favorite.
God, it's so good.
Musky, swampy guy.
It's so good that I read 2 volumes and nothing else.
Hey, this is good. This is good writing.
Eric, you finally finished The Vision.
Oh my God, yeah. It made me see the world through another vision. You know what I'm saying?
Now you are more open to AI, I believe, is what you told me in the car ride over here.
I don't think they should vote.
Well,
but I'm okay with them living next door with my kids as long as they go to a different school.
To my
Just kidding. I'm joking.
The X-Men school. I feel like we're gonna get striked for that.
Well, no,
we'll be fine.
We're doing this vocal version of that song.
Disney, leave us alone. No one's listening. But no. So we're gonna talk about Swamp Thing. We're gonna talk about The Vision. What else is on the...
Silver Surfer, the Annihilation.
Yeah,
We're still going through that.
You did read the Silver Surfer mini.
The last one before the actual event.
Now the event can happen.
Now it can finally happen.
Now you can read Annihilation.
It's like after, what is this?
Now that you've read...
There's like 20 issues of people saying these annihilating bugs are just destroying things. Now we get to see the meat and potatoes.
I believe it's about 15 to 20 issues of comic books that you've read.
15? No, I looked at it. It was like
so it's the Drax miniseries, which is 4.
Wait, yeah, okay. If you're counting all that, then yeah.
It's the Drax, it's the Ronin, it's Silver Surfer,
Nova.
Super Skrull, and Nova.
So
and
that's 20 issues right there.
And then there's the Prelude. So there's 21. So now that you've read 21 comics, you can now read Annihilation.
Finally, that's good. I like that.
You now have all this background information. So
yeah,
that when you read this main event, it all culminates. It does all come together.
I hope it's good. I hope it all comes out good.
Do you want to? We're already talking about Annihilation. You just want to start with Silver Surfer?
Oh yeah, I don't like this series. Let's just get it out of the back. This 4-part Silver Surfer story is incredibly boring to me. because there's a lot of like this whole, especially the first 3 issues. There's a lot of like Silver Surfer or just characters that's just standing in open space,
hanging out,
dialogue heavy. It's
but
a lot of dialogue
catching
heavy.
Up.
Yeah, but like it's not fun to read.
That's
especially like when Silver Surfer is talking to a Galactus, and I know this is like a big moment, but reading through it is really boring because like there'll be a panel of like his face and then Silver Surfer in front of it, and then the next panel is not that same face, just at a different position. I'm like, oh my God. And they're just talking about stuff that I feel like I don't know because I'm not a Marvel fan. They're using a lot of terms and stuff.
What were they talking about?
The Klin and like.
Oh, yeah. No, you know the Klin. That's the prison that blew up.
Oh,
in the first.
Sorry, I couldn't remember it because they blew up in the first issue. Sorry, I forgot about it. They blew up in the first couple panels, so of course I forgot about Klin. I knew.
They mentioned it a few times throughout the Kiln. They mention it a few times throughout the series. They mention it. It happens in Drax. And then the Nova Corps in the Annihilation Prelude issue, they talk about that happening. And then I think they mention it one time in Ronin, maybe. But that's where the bugs break into the universe. That's the ground zero of the Annihilation wave.
Right? Yeah, not even a
and then
planet.
right after that, Xandar.
It's
like
not
right
even a
after
planet.
that, they go straight to Xandar.
First they fuck up a prison, then they fuck up a planet.
Well, the prison's next to what they call the rift. So like the edge of the universe.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's and you read
what
and
a
you
good
read
place
Silver
to put a
So here's
prison.
the thing. So you read the Silver Surfer, right?
Yeah.
So the Silver, like you're describing a lot of boring stuff with Silver Surfer. But I think, and you're right, because Silver Surfer's, I like him. I think he's a cool character.
I think he's cool too.
There's a lot of background stuff you need to know about Silver. Like, I'm sure it was really confusing, like with Airwalker and Fire Lord.
Yeah, I mean, I was able to get what they were talking about, but it wasn't really a fun conversation for me.
That's fair.
Honestly.
How did you like the action with all of the? Did you like meeting all the different heralds? Was that cool for you?
No,
you didn't think the heralds were
they
cool?
were all floating in space, talking about their.
You didn't think the variety of them were unique?
Only Silver Surfer looked very unique because he's a surfer.
What do you mean?
in
There's
outer
Fire
space.
Lord. He's
yeah,
fire.
Yeah,
There's
just a fire who's just aqua.
There's Dark One who's dark.
No, they don't
There's
look.
Gabriel, the Airwalker. He's a cyborg.
Gabriel Airwalker. Yeah, none of them really like stuck out.
And then there was the guy with the swords. Remember the guy with the swords?
No. I remember the Fire Lord, the Stardust, the guy with the helmet. I mean, they all just look.
The helmet, and he had
generic.
two swords, right? And he had like no nose. That's a Corbinite. That's the same thing that
I
Beta
didn't
Ray Bill is.
I didn't notice. Okay, well that's cool. I didn't notice the two swords, but I did notice the no nose.
I'll put an image of him. I can't. He's a forgettable character, so I don't know his name. But
the best parts.
It's sad because Silver Surfer doesn't fight in it. He like doesn't want to fight.
He fights at the end after like Galactus gives him power.
Yeah, well, that's because he realized because he's going through. He's trying to be peace. He's trying to like be the hero. He learned a bunch of lessons on Earth because he was spending some time on Earth. That's what a lot of those flashbacks are.
A hero at this point right now.
Yeah. He doesn't herald for Galactus. He spent some time on Earth recently. He had a girlfriend or something. And then he like is back in space now. And he's trying to take all the lessons he learned on Earth into space, like trying not to kill, trying to preserve every life, all that stuff. And like he finds Gabriel Airwalker. He's like, oh no, this awful thing. I'm going to save you. He's like, you can't save me. And then he finds this one dude and he's like, oh yeah, it looks like your planet got wiped out. This sucks. I'll take you somewhere safe.
I
And
do
he's
like that part.
Kill me, actually. Just leave me here.
Yeah, and he's this Randa who survives the being annihilated.
Yeah.
Like he's the last survivor. And he's all like, yeah, just kill me. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, he's like, dude, do you not understand that there's nothing for me anymore? Like,
yeah, but
my
then
life's over.
Then like other heralds come in and he kind of like gets involved.
Yeah, they start
talking and
Seekers
he's,
show up. The Seekers, which are Annihilus's elite hunters of cosmic forces.
Yeah.
So there's this guy called Ravenous who is from the Negative Zone. He's a general of the Annihilation Wave.
Just another big, strong alien guy who's bald.
You don't care, but maybe the listeners want to know what's going on in the story.
Well, guess what? He's a strong alien guy that's bald.
And he has a bunch of like dudes who look exactly like him. Who all have these dogs, who the dogs actually have the superpowers, and the guys are just the conduits for the dogs.
So
and they're hunting the power cosmic. Anybody who has the power cosmic to feed to Annihilus, because Annihilus loves to eat cosmic energy.
So that's basically the main plot of the Silver Surfer story. Is that these Seekers are looking for
all the heralds because the heralds have the power cosmic,
not the cosmic power. Ladies and gentlemen,
cosmic. Then there's cosmic power.
Yeah,
then there's the
two
Mega
different
Bands,
things.
and then there's the
the
Nova
Force.
Force. Don't forget about
quantum. I hate quantum bends. That's my least favorite so far. In order. The Nova Force.
Okay.
Power cosmic.
All right.
Quantum bands.
Okay.
A list of outer space powers that are
no, keep going.
Was there more?
Yeah, you're forgetting a few.
Source. I know DC has some as well.
Yeah. What? God, now I've lost our place. No, but so all these heralds show the Seekers show up to try and fight Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer's trying to protect this dude, and he's trying to not kill these guys. And then these other heralds show up and just start murking these dudes. And Silver Surfer was like, "No, we could have done that another way."
We can't
and then Fire
kill.
Lord's like, "This is war. There's a war going on, dude. Wake up, Norrin Rad."
And then this the guy that Silver Surfer saved is all like, you know what? Maybe I do want to.
Actually, I think I'm going to enlist. I'm going to hell dive today.
He's going to go hell diving with the Nihilus. But there's also a plot B going on in the Silver Surfer with Thanos,
which is enjoyable. Which I
liked because this is like my first time reading a Thanos moment.
Okay.
And this is a pretty good one.
Okay, so this is Thanos after he lost Infinity War.
Is
an Infinity Gauntlet.
That fairy thing, the Chaos Mite that hangs around him. Is that a character that makes another appearances?
Yeah, I think there's a few Thanos moments in between here and that. Like the thing with Thanos I believe is that he had the Infinity Gauntlet. He almost destroyed half the galaxy. Or he did destroy half the universe.
Good for him. Did he get any pussy from death?
No.
Oh, what?
No.
Babe,
Deadpool actually cucks him.
Babe, I killed like half of the universe, and you still won't let me get in there?
And then he just kind of exiles himself for a little bit, but I think there might be one or two stories with him in between.
I like the idea of him having a fairy sidekick.
He also has a Galactus Herald that hangs out with him.
That's right. That's right. He had a herald.
He's got like a whole
with him.
crew, dude.
I would like to see them. I think that's cool.
I think every miniseries has its strengths and weaknesses, and some of them are just stronger.
Oh yeah, this one is especially the weakest in my opinion.
But it's got a really good strength, and you get to see Thanos team up with Annihilus, and like this, like the politics of him, like Thanos as an avatar of death. Annihilus is looking to end all life in the universe. He is obviously going to be like, "Hey, yo, I respect what you're doing. This is cool. This is cool shit." And Annihilus is like, "Hey, that thing you did back in the day, you took out half the universe. That's pretty cool. Props to you."
He's still respected by all these villains.
Did you like it when Annihilus had like alien babes on him? Like this big cockroach monster with like bat wings is like chilling in a throne, and then these alien babes are just standing around him. And it's like, dude, you don't have a penis.
You're a bug.
You're a bug. You're a hive mind too. So
did he tell them all to leave, and then like they all
are they bugs? Are they sex? Did you make sexy bugs for yourself, Annihilus?
Oh, I mean, it could be sex robots.
Yeah, that'd be crazy if Annihilus had sex robots.
Dude, you're a space emperor. Of course, you have sex
He's a
robots.
Space despot.
Space despot. I like that word.
But yeah, no, I didn't. I thought you might like Silver Surfer as a character, but I was rereading.
No,
these,
I mean, I still think he's pretty unique. I like this idea of a man surfing through space the same way Black Racer's a man skiing through space. But surfing is a lot more practical than skiing through space. So the images of him of like going through space is cool.
So you would like the Heralds of Galactus more if all of them were extreme sport themed.
I guess that would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool.
If he was the Silver Surfer,
and then there was the Gold Skater.
The Gold Skater.
Yeah, the other heralds just look very generic.
The Fire Rollerblader.
Yeah. So
the Ice Skater.
And there's a lot of like, I feel like if I was already a Marvel nerd and I'm seeing like, oh shit, here comes Galactus and Silver Surfer talking again, and like I don't understand the weight behind that.
Yeah,
because I can see it. I know it because
he's a big guy. You can imagine it's a pretty big weight.
Yeah, I know.
He's very large.
From the dialogue, I can tell like he's not his herald anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
they had a breakup,
but Silver Surfer was talking about how like I still feel connected to Galactus, so I kind of want this.
His boyfriend. Yeah. I miss you, babe.
Yeah, even Galactus is all like, you were always my favorite herald, Silver Surfer. I'm like, don't tell him. Don't manipulate him.
Galactus is just a douchebag with a roster of...
He's literally manipulating his ex.
All of them. Every single one. He rotates them out.
He tells them, when he says, like, you were my favorite herald, Silver Surfer, he's like, you said that to Fire Lord. Airwalker told me you said that to him.
Died. You don't even know that, did you?
Airwalker was your last guy.
And he's like, Airwalker? You didn't even know he was a cyborg, did you? Yeah, I didn't think he could die.
Oh, dude. Do you even remember your Herald's last name? Yeah, it was Air Running Guy.
Oh my god.
Galactus.
Unbelievable. I can't believe you ran out of sports mode. You used all the extreme sports modes of transportation. You even used parachute and paraglide before, and then Gabriel comes along. Oh, you put him on his feet. He's got to be the air.
Hey,
walker.
Walking is a sport. You lose weight when walking. That's like
he's
a sport.
He's an air walker. It's like he's on a tightrope. It's just it doesn't make sense to have a tightrope go through the galaxy.
Oh my god, that would be hilarious. A herald that just tightrope walks across the universe. You'll just see a rope that's like going across the space, and you're like, "What is that?" Oh, that's just Norman tight walker.
Marvel, if you guys want us to redo your Galactus of your Heralds of Galactus of Herald,
we'll have a guy that's not like the Black Racer, but he's still skiing. We'll have a skateboarder, paraglider.
We'll have a tightrope walker, a parachuter, a wingsuit. We'll do a
what's that parasailing?
We'll do a
parasailing guy.
We'll do a razor scooter and a lime scooter. I don't give a shit.
Dude, a Heelys guy. Can you Heelys through space?
What's that? Is it soaping when you have those like weird soled shoes that you just grind on rails with? Is that soaping? What is that called?
I think so. What the Sonic the Hedgehog did?
Yeah. Is that?
I think it's called grinding.
No, but I think there's a specific race. There's a parkour. I don't know.
Oh, parkour! Can you imagine that guy parkouring through stars and freaking like asteroid belts?
This is dumb as hell. Dude. Unicycle, bicycle.
Okay, you're running out of ideas, Galactus.
City bus. Oh. God damn it, Galactus.
Oh my lord! See, this is funny. I would remember these guys then. I would want to learn more about them. But yeah, that's the Silver Surfer story. Galactus just in the end, Galactus and Silver Surfer teams up. Yeah.
How are you gonna read it? You gonna read all 6 in one go, or are you gonna read 3 and 3? You gonna read 2?
I'm probably gonna read it like usually what I always do, just read one every week. And I'm just playing. I'll just you know how I am. I'll just keep reading a book until I get tired of it, and then close it without even going to the end of the chapter first, and then picking up another book. You know how I read.
It's uncanny how close you are to an end of an issue when you decide to stop reading an issue. Is the thing.
I surprised myself too.
I know it's because you only really read like you've gotten a pool now. So I feel like you'll start to have a better like sense of when the issue's about to end in the graphic novel.
Yeah,
but the longer you read them, you will. But like right now, it's just like I pick up your vision book, I take out your bookmark, and I'm like, "This is where you stopped," and you're like, "Yeah, I feel like the scene was coming to an end." I was like, "Yeah, the issue is coming to an end."
Yeah, the page next.
Literally flip the page and it's the end.
I'm like, "Oh, look at that!"
You're like, "Oh, wow."
Well, you know how like some comic books are. Each page is like a different scene. So I was like, yeah, I'm good here. There's one time I started an issue, read the first couple pages, and then like, all right, they're out of the Vision household now. I can stop right there.
That's fair. Here's the thing: is like I have the sense of like, because in a book you have a specific number of pages that you get to make a comic book, right? Like you get like 20 pages, 24 pages, whatever. So that's all the pages you have for that issue of the book, and then the graphic novel or a trade is a collection of those issues. So like in each issue, you can only get so many scenes. So like you start to feel the rhythm of like, oh, I've had this many scenes and this scene's about to end. The next scene is probably either the last pages or this scene is ending and that's the end of the book.
My perspective.
And I get fucked up reading some graphic novels that I don't really pay attention to the covers because I just want to get to the next story.
Yeah.
And I get into an annual issue or a giant sized issue.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how many fucking scenes are in this?
Oh my god, that was me when I was reading Justice League International. Like, god damn.
It's like, when does this issue end so I can go to bed?
That was me when I was like reading this Doom Patrol arc that I'm currently reading. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of poopy, but I want to get through it already. And then I get to an annual issue that's 40 pages long. I'm like, oh my god.
The trudge continues.
The trudge continues.
Speaking of trudges, let's trudge through the swamp.
Oh, yes.
Shall we?
Yeah, get your boots on. You're going trudging through the swamp.
Get your galoshes out.
Galoshes, yeah.
Gals, because you're going to go.
Pack your sex potatoes and put on your galoshes. We're going into swamp.
Make sure you bring plenty of I don't know. We're talking about Swamp Thing.
Yeah, what do you.
Volume
what do we
4.
Left off?
So, how did Volume 3 end again? Swamp Thing.
Well, he's doing John Constantine work.
That's right. This one, it ends pretty tightly wrapped up. I think we talked enough about it last issue or last.
The last issue was the slave house. Remember?
It was, yes. So that's how it wrapped up. And now, because this is kind of like, this is my guy. Chester's my dude.
Oh, yes. So we start off with book 4.
Opens up with Swamp Thing taking a stroll through his swamp, as he does, just popping yams off of his back.
We like to theorize that when Swamp Thing is horny, more sex fruit starts growing off him.
That's the first time I've ever heard that theory, but I do agree.
Because you see him again when he's hanging out with Abby, and he's just full of sex fruit, like hanging off of him.
Dude, he's going to see Abby.
He's probably going to see Abby.
He's probably going to see
her. So
dude.
This hippie...
You gave me blue yams.
Yeah, this hippie researcher is in that same forest and finds one of these sex potatoes. I call them sex potatoes, people, but they're
like yams. They're sweet potatoes. They look like sweet potatoes.
Just a refresher, guys. These aren't actually like sex potatoes. They're pretty much, if you eat them, your conscience goes into the green, and see how Swamp Thing usually sees when he wants to, he says. And it's a pretty trippy experience.
Yeah. And then we call them sex potatoes because him and Abby eat them to have sex.
They eat them to have sex.
Not because Swamp Thing can't have physical sex with her. They're just weird like that. They're just straight. That's what what would you expect from a woman who has sex with a monster in a swamp? We'll get there.
So Chester doesn't eat these things right away, but he
takes one home. He wants to study it,
but he gives them to his friends. Right? He gives one to a friend.
Well, one guy shows up. He's like, "My fucking wife is dying, man. She's gonna die. She's in so much pain. She's got late stage cancer. There's nothing that they can do."
Oh yeah, he's coming for her for
drugs. Anything, man? You got some weed to help with the pain, please. Just
he's like, I don't got the weed, but I got this weird potato that I found off the ground.
You can have this fucking potato.
And then his other friend who's like a mooch was all like, "Hey, buddy, you got any weed?
Hey, man, can you front me some weed, man? I'm trying to get fucked up tonight." He's like,
I'm just gonna take this potato that you got here.
You still owe me $15 from last time. He's like, "Yeah, well, you owe me rent," because it's like his landlord. And then
is that his landlord?
I think so.
Well, he just takes that potato because he feels like it. And then he's like left with the little piece. He's like, "Aw."
He's like, "They took all my drugs."
So the guy with the dying wife, he gives her the potato,
and she has the sex vision.
Oh yeah, she actually dies in peace because she has a good vision.
So she takes it. We'll talk about her first. She takes it, and her pain does go away. She feels better. She gets the like trippy like visuals of like everything is glowing and colorful and everything is bright.
And she has a final moment with her husband.
She starts.
Nice.
Yeah, they go out into the rain. She's like, "I want to be outside." She gets naked. They have sex in the rain in nature.
Very passionate scene.
He gets a little fucked up because she kisses him.
Oh, he gets some of the juices in his lips.
He gets a contact high, quite literally.
He gets secondhand sex potato high.
And then he bangs his wife to death in a rainstorm. And it's actually
because she dies at the end doesn't mean he had sex with her to death.
Yeah, he killed her with that. He murdered that pussy. No, she was dying from illness. And then the douchebag eats it. The asshole eats it, and he lives out. He lives out Alec Holland's experience of becoming Swamp Thing.
He goes into fire.
He turns into Swamp Thing. He sees himself as Swamp Thing. He's freaking out about that. He's like, "I'm a fucking freak! Oh my god!" And then he sees, I think
that's Sunderland.
That's Sunderland. Look, it's the monkey.
It's
King,
the monkey and the fat vampire lady.
Vampire lady's there. And then the
little alien guys. Look at us. We're popping for the alien.
The zombies.
Where's that racist mansion?
Oh, look, Nuke Face. Sort of. Kind of.
I think that
I would call that the Nuke Face reference there. And then look.
Oh, Anton Arcade.
He doesn't see demons. He literally lives out being Alec Holland and Swamp Thing. And then the guy whose wife dies comes back to the guy. He's like, "Hey man, that potato, I don't know what it was, don't know what it did, but it gave us a moment of peace at the end. And I really appreciate that." And then the asshole guy's junkie friend shows up and I was like, "Yo, that thing fucking killed him. He fucking ran out in front of a bus because he was high off of that. Yeah,
it's all your fault. You gave him the shit." But at the end of the page,
he's like, "You got any more?"
So at the end, Chester, after seeing both experiences, is like he gathers that like, oh, if you're a good person, you'll probably get a good vision.
If you're a bad person, this tells people if they're good or bad.
Yeah, so he contemplates about eating it because, like he said, his friend had a good experience. He's like, "I don't know if I'm good or bad," so he ends up not eating it.
Because he would rather not know.
Yeah, you'd rather have a really fucked up experience that could kill you or a really awesome experience.
This next issue, first off, has a hilarious cover. I don't know what this cover is all about.
It's Swamp Thing standing in front of the American flag.
Swamp Thing number 44 is just Swamp Thing running like a pro athlete in front of an American flag, like he's on a baseball card or some shit.
I'd get that card.
I would too. But this issue I would like to title The POV. You went to that school for autistic children that Abigail taught at. Because it's from the point of vision of this dude who just keeps asking people to give him a number, and then he describes that, but what is it? It's, give me a number between 1 and 164.
He goes 58.
And then you give him a number, and then he starts, remembering the eyes of his last victim because he's a serial killer.
Oh my God, gross.
Yeah. And then telling a little bit about him to this guy in a bar. He's just like, give me another number. Come on, I love numbers. And then he's like, 34. And he's like, blonde, blue eyes, cried. and he's like, what the fuck, dude?
So this is interesting because you see it from his perspective.
The entire, most of his, there's other stuff going on.
But when you get to his parts, you see it from his perspective.
I would say he's the villain of this.
Yeah, he's a Swamp Thing villain. Does he give it a name? Did they give
no,
it
he doesn't have a name. He's the Boogeyman.
We'll call him.
He refers to himself as the Boogeyman.
Boo. Who do you think would win a fight, Boogeyman or Nuke Face?
I think Little Boogeyman would win in a fight against Mini Nuke Face. Okay. That's a wrestling reference. But fucking Alec, the weirdo, goes and visits his wife Abigail by growing out of the toilet.
Growing out of this, I think it's the sink. He comes out of the faucet.
Yeah, he does come out of the sink, and then he sits on the toilet.
Yeah, and then she's all like, he's all like, hello,
he's giving her light skin wrist. He's just like, hello. And she's like, you just came out of my sink. Gonna need a little more than hello. What's going on? And he's like, oh, was that weird?
I've been doing it for so long. It's like second nature to me.
And then she's like, hey, hold on 1 second. Let me get some newspaper so you don't fuck up my carpet.
He doesn't really come to her house that much. I just realized.
Yeah, no, she's like, yeah, I'm not prepared for this at all.
You should have let me know so I have the newspaper ready. But then he immediately goes back into the freaking bathroom because they talked a little bit.
Yeah.
Gives a little update of what he's up to. Then he goes into the freaking the bathtub and then sinks himself through the faucet.
Right. Nice pun.
Oh my lord!
Sinks himself through the faucet.
Look, it leaves all these gross plant residue in her bathtub. All right, so let's see. This book takes place during Crisis
is building up right now.
Yes.
And that's why we cut to John Constantine, everyone's favorite trench coat wearer.
Part of the trench coat brigade.
Finding Mento. Because he's like, Mento, I'm gonna need you in a minute.
I'm gonna need your psychic powers, buddy. And he's all like, hey, John, my wife kind of died.
And, I'm real depressed about it, and the sky looks like it's on fire. And he's like, oh shit, the sky looks like it's on fire. And then Batman shows up and is like, hey, citizens, get inside. This isn't safe out here. And then John Constantine's like, oh wait, it's fine. We're not citizens. Don't you realize who this is? And
That's
Batman's
Mento.
like, no, I've never met this man. He's
it's
like,
Mento.
This is Mento. What are you, mental? Like, member of the Doom Patrol. He's like, oh yeah,
right, the Doom Patrol.
Did I go to your wedding? And then Mento's like,
he did.
And then Batman's like, okay, yeah, whatever. I guess you guys are safe. Sure. And then he just runs off. And I'm like, that's irresponsible of Batman. He doesn't know if Mento's capable.
He kind of knows him because
he knows he has a dead wife.
Because during the Doom Patrol first run, they him and Elastigirl get married, and Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman were there.
Clearly,
he clearly doesn't. He clearly is like, oh yeah,
and
that
Alan Moore
guy.
Is poking fun. I think Alan Moore likes to poke fun at the Justice League because it's like the bigwigs are kind of like douchebags.
No, he's not douchebag. He's just like, oh well, that guy's a superhero. Then that's fine.
Sure, whatever.
He's got other things going on.
No, look at that face. He's just like, yeah, I don't know you, buddy. I'm Batman. You know who I am? Oh, you're Mento? Okay, yeah, sure. I guess you guys.
Oh, Mento, you're that guy who has a mental breakdown and try to kill his son.
And then a majority of the rest of the issue is this guy killing his 165th victim until Swamp Thing catches him in the swamp. And gets all spooky on him.
Yeah.
It becomes very R.L. Stein, if R.L. Stein was good at writing.
You got this whole murderer who's going around like killing people from his perspective, and he's like enjoying it and being kind of a jerk about it. But then Swamp Thing appears before him looking like a legit monster. Like,
this legit is like boogeyman. He's like, what? They replaced me. I'm supposed to be the boogeyman.
Yeah, that's what he thinks he's the boogeyman. He's like, but I'm the boogeyman. Why is there a boogeyman in front of me? So
no boogeyman.
He scares the shit out of this guy until like I guess he runs away. Did he die?
No, he kills him. He straight up kills this dude.
That's good. Yeah.
Swamp Thing kills.
Oh
See,
my god,
look,
hell yeah!
He drowns him in the swamp.
That's
he drags
awesome.
him down into it. Swamp Thing believes in murder.
Wow. Batman would have just put him in prison. Swamp Thing just killed this guy.
No, Swamp Thing
Good.
sees him as a sickness, dude. Then Abby gets a call. What is this again?
To the. Oh, it's about Cable. Matt Cable. Oh no.
No, I think that's Constantine calling her.
Oh yeah. Listen, tell your boyfriend to be in San Miguel.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. That is John Constantine.
He wakes her up in the middle of the night. He's like, I've got a mission for Swamp Thing. And she's like, you know that I'm not Swamp Thing, right? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, and I know that you can magically locate him, right? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, why are you calling me at 3 a.m., Swamp Man? And he's like, sad. And then this is a cool little issue where they Scooby-Doo cast of characters go into a Winchester mansion situation where it's a haunted mansion built by a gun empire heiress, and they all get attacked by ghosts.
Oh yeah, these are ghosts that were killed by a
guns.
Winchester.
Well, they're not Winchesters. They use a different name, but it's
a Winchester rifle. Yeah,
if you're familiar with that, it's that.
So all these
she gets trampled by ghost bison.
Oh yeah, one of the people got trampled by bison because the Winchester, was
killed
known
all
for
the bison.
Yeah, so this is a pretty I kind of like this actually. This is a good story arc. And
you want to talk about it? Because I'm just gonna.
No, go keep flipping through it. It's been a while since I mean,
so
read
basically,
it,
it's the Scooby-Doo cast, and they're all supposed to be like there's a couple, and then there's a boy and a girl.
Oh yeah, there's two couples.
There's two couples, and one of the couples is cheating on one of the couples with each other, and
they're having
banging, and the main guy is like, oh no, and then the one couple gets completely killed, and the main guy and his girlfriend who's cheating on him leave the mansion. And his girlfriend's like, we gotta go back. And he's like, what do you mean we got out? We gotta go. We gotta get out of here. I don't think they're gonna get out. She's like, no, I've been cheating on you with him. Like, I like him more than you. And then he's like, all right, I'm leaving. And then he goes and he buys a gun at the end of the issue. And also, Constantine shows up, and Swamp Thing is like, hey, what the fuck was that?
Oh yeah, did Swamp Thing even do anything in that? I think he just because sometimes he
shows up at the end.
Stuff.
He shows up near the end, and he's like, "You guys got to get out of here." Yeah.
Oh, okay, he just
saves the last two people. So he shows up, and then he starts banging to put the ghost at ease.
There we go. There we go. Shit. That's my man, and he's like, "Why did I have to do that?" This is a good
So he's like, "I am no longer certain, but why?" And then the reason that he brought him is to meet the Newcastle crew.
The Newcastle crew. Benji and Frank.
They hang out in the swamp. They go off. Guy buys a gun. And then the next issue.
The Crisis event.
That's when Crisis starts happening. Pirates, spacemen.
So y'all don't know, if y'all don't know what the Crisis on Infinite Earths moment is, it's one of the biggest DC crossover events at the time. They bring in everybody, and there's this thing called the Anti-Monitor trying to take over their universe, and that brings the whole, I guess, universe in a chaos, because now there's like dinosaurs and dodo birds and like soldiers running around the streets. It's all crazy, hecked up stuff. And all the superheroes are getting together into one area. I think that is Eclipso.
Okay. Anyways, some magic stuff's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what John Constantine is trying to handle. He's trying to handle the magic aspect of it.
So, like, in the actual crossover event, because John Constantine takes him to that little area where all the superheroes are in one place.
Yep.
For
the Watchtower.
Yeah, for Luthor's son to, like, tell him what's going on, give him the rundown. And during the Crisis book, when we get to that scene, you actually see Swamp Thing in the corner, and he gets a little panel talking to somebody, like talking to that guy right there, I guess, Sergeant Rock. Because he gets one line of dialogue, and he's like gray looking, and that's it. He's not part of the story.
That's fun.
Yeah,
he was there.
Yeah, but then this story tells
he's hanging out with Adam Strange and Hawkman and
Negative Man,
even though Negative Man is dead at the time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's dead. There's Ambush Bug.
I think it's something to do with the Crisis.
You're right. Yeah,
I think because is the book that you're reading before Crisis, the Doom Patrol you're currently on.
That's after Crisis.
The Doom Patrol you're currently on is after Crisis. Yeah. Ooh, then I don't know.
Yeah, this might be a little mistake there, but whatever. Ambush Bug is there. He shouldn't be there. He's you know who that guy is?
Cyborg's there.
Yes.
Yeah. But they meet up with the stranger on the watchtower.
Oh, yeah. Meet up with the stranger.
Yep. And then Constantine is like, look, I'm going to go get my team. You're going to go get your team. Go with the stranger and find people like you to help fight in this war later. And then we get some shots. Oh, no, wait. No. That's not what happens. They got to go to the Amazon. I'm getting ahead of us.
Oh, yeah. That comes afterwards.
They got to go to the Amazon because this cult is trying to resurrect evil.
Yeah, there's this cult that's using the Crisis event to resurrect the
evil
god of the representation
the
concept of evil, darkness, all that stuff. The biggest baddie so far. And I like these scenes because John Constantine is just like running down this info and like what we have to do and shit, and Swamp Thing's just trying to catch up.
What? Hold on, wait, cult.
Look at all these word bubbles.
So, but actually, first he's like, you got to go talk to the Parliament of Trees.
Oh, the Parliament of Trees.
Yeah. And right before that, one of these guys are back.
The backwards head guys.
Kid.
Backwards head kid. There is a name for this demon.
There are. I don't remember what they're called. But geez, dude. Oh yeah, here it is. Da 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 da. Oh, INVUNCHE.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's what it is. The Invunch.
Invunche. I don't know. If you know how to pronounce it, let us know.
That's the name of the creature.
Spell it for us. But yeah, another one shows up and kills the lady.
Yeah, the nun. Because we see him take out the first Newcastle crew member, which is like the Soho artist.
Yeah,
that
someone's
John
sending
had,
them to take out the Newcastle crew.
Yeah, so now the sister Mary's dead.
Unbelievable.
All John has is that that crackhead lady, the gay biker dude, and the nerdy kid.
Next issue.
Oh, next issue.
This photographer's out in the swamp trying to get some nature shots of a swan. Sees a hot babe taking off her top, going for a dip.
For these big story events, we got to lay down the seeds for the next issue after all that stuff, which is this weirdo taking pictures of Abby making love to Swamp Thing.
First, he's taking pictures of a bird. Then he's taking pictures of a chick supposedly going for a skinny dip. Then Swamp Thing is dropping yams.
He's
left
dropping
and right.
yams. These
she's
yams
got her yams out, dude. Look at those things. But they're all making out. This photographer's like, oh, well, I got to get this. And he's trying to sell it to a newspaper later, but he gets one of the most perfect shots because like Swamp Things, they're hanging out, they're kissing. He's growing all these yams all over him, getting all yammed up. And then a yam grows on his crotch. And she goes, ooh, may I? And he goes, please be my guest. And then he puts his hand on the back of her head and she leans down. She gives him head. This is her.
It literally looks like he's getting head. Yeah. She's just eating this fruit off his body. But from this perspective, it looks
And we know what happens after they eat the fruit. They fuck.
They fuck.
And then Swamp Thing goes to the Amazon after he fucks. He gets a morning fuck in, and then he goes.
Oh, because he can teleport around the state. So he
bangs his girlfriend, and then he leaves for work.
He leaves for war.
Shows up in the Amazon.
That's a good
Constantine
jungle
is dealing
version.
with the locals.
This is a good jungle version of not Constantine, Swamp Thing.
I like his different version. I like when he shows up in new biomes and he has different looks.
Yeah.
So he goes and finds the Parliament of Trees, which are all of the earth elemental, the plant elementals before him.
Yeah, before him.
Who eventually learn that they just want to be a tree. And so they become trees.
It's just completely useless for Swamp Thing to be there. Cause,
what do you mean? He learns a lot.
Yeah, learns that, these people are useless.
He learns that they're all just like him. They all went through similar things. He gets invited into the consciousness. He talks to them. He's like, you guys are like me. He finds a community of people who are like him. He feels like he's at home. They go, hey, man, you're too horny and angry. And then they kick him out. And then he's like, I don't understand that at all.
They were supposed to help.
They were supposed to give me wisdom. They didn't give me any wisdom. They said, be wary of, what is it? He says, they said, I must avoid power and I must beware of anger.
Mm.
And then they asked me, where is evil in all the wood? Question. Where is evil in all the wood?
That is such a deep philosophical. I'm going to get that tattooed on my back. Where is evil in all the wood?
Where is evil in all the wood? In all the wood, where's the evil? And then they kick. So back to the paper printing business. They're like, you're a fucking freak. You're a sicko. You went out to the swamp and shot a porn with a woman and a guy in a monster costume. You try to peddle them as a story to my newspaper. you freak. And then they kick him out, and then they start looking at his photos, and they're like, hey, isn't this that chick who works at that school? Oh, we got a story.
Oh, now we got a story. What? A social worker is doing some weird stuff in the forest. There he is. The Invonches on the cover.
Dude, that's the guy. That is that's the boy. So now they have to go stop the ritual to resurrect evil.
There's a ritual happening underneath the caves.
A ritual indeed. A lot of witches. A lot of witches at this ritual.
Thanks, Elmer.
There's a load of witches at this ritual.
Thanks, Elmer Fudd.
Thank you, Benji. That's how Benji talks.
That's how Benji talks. He did do some...
trying to resurrect Cthulhu. There's a lot of witches at this ritual.
John, Cthulhu. He did say...
Benji, I'm glad your mom and you are dead.
He's
spoiler alert. They show up in the rainforest to stop this ritual. Swamp Thing's there. Frank's there.
So they got...
What's that chick's name?
Judas. So John,
Judith?
Yeah, Judas. So John had
Judith?
Yeah, the girl with the mohawk.
Like Judas?
Oh my god, I didn't
Spoiler
put it together.
alert. Benji's dead.
So John's all like, "All right, I got this team. We're gonna stop this cult." And it's like, "Okay, Swamp Thing. All right, that's
Swamp
cool.
Thing, yeah.
Big monster. All right, this girl who's clearly high right now.
Yep.
All right, this nerd who's like not even 18 yet, and all he does is like paint pictures. A nun, and this guy,
biker.
and a gay biker dude." But the nun dies. So now he's left with
the artist in Soho is dead.
Yep. So now he's like, "All right, guys, let's go."
Shows up. Frank and the druggie are there.
Yeah, Frank.
And he's like,
Frank's
"Where's Benji?"
the biker. Frank's the biker. Benji is dead.
She's like, "I went and picked up Benji, but his mom said he couldn't come out and play,"
which means he's dead.
And then later in the issue, Swamp Thing shows up. They go. They have a plan. Swamp Thing's supposed to decompose and then recompose inside the thing, but they have him blocked off from it, so he can't actually get in there.
Oh yeah, he couldn't get in there.
He couldn't get in. They had him blocked off. And then once Frank and everyone's in there, so I don't think he's gay because I think the implication is that they
for
were
the
gonna
longest
bang.
time I looked at him. Yeah,
he looks like a member of
the Leather Club.
Yeah, he does. He looks like a leather daddy. There, Frank. I know you'd like that.
So we'll just say he's bi. Yeah, I think
that's him dying.
So yeah, Judith tried to get Frank to have a little sexy
gets
time.
Captured. Judith shows up, is like, "This is what I wanted."
Judas was actually Judas. She betrayed them.
My name's Judith, but Judas.
But you can call me Judas. Well, thanks.
Yeah, and then he's like, "All right, lady." The head priest of the evil cult is like, "All right, lady, it's time to finish the ritual. You will be the messenger. Here, take your clothes off. Okay, drink this potion. Okay,
your head fell off.
Okay, that's good.
This scene was pretty freaky for me, but
that's good. Your head fell off.
You explaining it doesn't make it funny.
Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna cook this plant. All right, now
the plant just falls in the ground, which will come important later.
I'm gonna take this marble. Okay, chew on this marble.
I'm gonna put this marble out of this cauldron. I'm gonna put it in your mouth.
Put it in your mouth. Hold it there.
Your head starts turning into a full raven.
Okay, now you're going to start turning into a raven. You're going to start turning into a bird. That's it. You turn into a bird.
It's because he picks up the head, and then these freaking crow feet start growing out from where the neck is.
And then her face turns into a
beak. Like, and in the end, she turns into a full raven.
Her whole head looks like a Studio Ghibli, like...
Yeah, her head eventually looks like a full, complete raven.
Yeah, but the flower in her hair fell on the ground, which means that Swamp Thing's here now.
Swamp Thing felt that flower from her head get connected to the green, and now he's in there.
We are breached. Uvanche.
We are breached. Uvanche.
Look at him. He's like, he's tongue
he's not even looking at Swamp Thing. His head is backwards, so he's not even looking at Swamp Thing.
He's fucking angry, dude.
So, John Constantine has been put in this quicksand, and as he's sinking into this sand, he's yelling at Constantine. Oh, not Constantine. He's yelling at Swamp Thing, like, "Go stop that bird!
For months,
stop that bird!"
For months, he's been trying to teach Swamp Thing things, and Swamp Thing has been a little too slow to understand things.
This was the entire moment.
And John's been like, "Keep up. You need to be able to listen to me. You need to be able to understand what I'm saying to you."
So he's all like, "Stop the bird! Stop! Don't worry about me."
I'm
something, and he goes,
"Fine,
Constantine." And then Constantine's all like, "Don't look at me! Go get that bird! Stop that bird right now!" And then he goes, like, "Constantine," and he's like, "Swamp Thing, don't go!" And then he gets buried. And then Constantine's all like, "No, Swamp Thing's like, Constantine!" Completely ignores the bird and saves his life.
She turns into a bird.
Yeah,
the same panel where he's triumphantly pulling Constantine out of the ground, it says, "It is done," and then the bird flies off.
The bird flies off with the marble in his
Swamp
mouth.
Thing is like, "What were you saying?"
Swamp Thing picks him up out of the mud. He's like, "Constantine, what were you saying?
You said something about a bird. We have to
You
stop.
were talking too fast and panicky. I couldn't hear you." Swamp Thing!
I think you might have had mud in your mouth.
Well, guess what? You got freaking mud all over you.
And now, Abby's arrested.
Abby's been arrested
for making porn in a swamp with a man.
She
in a
wasn't
monster
making
suit.
porn. The other guy made porn of her.
For banging a guy in a monster suit in a swamp.
So the bird travels to deliver the message that will unleash the darkness.
That will awaken
evil,
the darkness.
the pure evil.
That the world is ready for it. That the world is about to be fresh and new, and that evil can come and rule.
Oh, this dope-ass scene when they're surrounded by all these cultists, and then he's all like, "You fools do know that this cave is underneath a forest." And then all these fucking roots come out, and
he's like, "Constantine, get out of here." He's like, "Oh, now I gotta listen to you." He's like, "I'm literally gonna kill everyone in this cave."
Constantine's all like, "Oh yeah?
Oh yeah, you're right."
I like how sneaky he is. All right, but that's cool. When he does like area of effect shit like that.
Yeah.
This is the same vibe as him coming out of the mountain.
Oh, yeah, 100%. He was like, "Do you not understand that we're underneath a rainforest right now? Do you know who I am?"
Oh, he just fucked up these cultists, dude.
You're all dead now. And then, okay, so now it's time. Now that the bird has been sent, the message has been given, they got to get their troops ready. So Constantine goes, and he gets Sargon.
Sargon the Sorcerer, Baron Winters, Zatanna, and her father Zatara, and for some reason he didn't invite Dr. Occult, but Dr. Occult's there.
Also, Dr. Fate shows up to Swamp Thing.
Yes. On Swamp Thing's side, you got. Mento's also with John Constantine.
Well, yeah, that was laid out earlier.
But Swamp Thing's side, you got Dead Man, the Spectre.
He goes into the afterlife to meet with to find the Spectre and the Stranger. He meets up with Dead Man. He meets up with that guy who died of a heart attack, and then Dead Man sent back, and then he said, "Hey, I died on the way to the hospital." And then the Stranger shows up.
Oh, Etrigan's there, and he has like an army of demons.
Well, before they go get Etrigan, they go get this. They try to wake up the Spectre to be like, "Hey, Spectre, stop that bird. Just stop it. Like, you're God. You can just stop it, right?"
He could have stopped it.
And then he like wakes up, and he's like, "No." And they're like, "What?" And he's like, "I kind of want to fight the evil." And they're like, "What?" He's like, "I think it'd be fun to fight a big guy like me. I'm a big guy." They're like, "Yeah, you choose to make yourself big." He's like, "Yeah, but it'd be fun to fight a big guy."
It's time to fight something worthy of my powers. It's funny. What's funny when the Swamp Thing, Stranger, and Dead Man, they're like
looking for him?
Yeah, they're looking for the Spectre, right, in this big cosmic realm. And like, fuck, where is he? And then that mountain in the back was actually his chin, and he looks over at them. Was like, "Why are you guys walking on my chest?" I like the perspectives of.
They're like, "We gotta find him." And he's like, "No, you don't. You gotta get off of me."
Hey, where's that? Yeah, where the heck is the Spectre? I'm right here, and you're walking on my dick.
So the plan is that John's team is going to do a seance, and Swamp Thing's team is going to just straight up go and fight it.
Yeah, because like when the pure evil is like becoming reborn, the demons of hell are most of the demons of hell are taking its side and becoming its army of darkness. And then Etrigan was like, I got a couple of demons that aren't actually evil.
There's actually it's actually split down the middle pretty evenly, because there's a bunch of members of hell who are loyal to the current hell regime, and then there's a bunch of members of hell who want to overthrow that regime, and they're going to
they also
new
don't
evil.
Want the world to end too. So
but Etrigan, he's like, those guys don't understand that if they side with the prime evil, everything is gone. The loyalists understand that like this evil is better than an evil unknown. The devil you know is better than the one you don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like how Etrigan. There's other demons like Etrigan that rhyme. They're called. Yeah. If you didn't know that, they're called rhymers because they want to flex their intelligence from humanity by like rhyming everything. It's pretty funny. I like it.
So this little black egg births all the prime evil. Mento is being forced to watch it in the seance.
That's right.
But he's like, John's like, put on your helmet, time to look at it. And he's like, it's scary. He's like, no, time to look at it. And he's like, John, no, John, please take the helmet off. And John's like, no, tell us what you see.
No, tell us what you see. Come on, you got to tell us what
important.
you see.
And he's like, I'm scared.
I don't want to see this, John. You're making me see the horrors of humanity and all of life. It's like, Mento,
this is evil.
Just tell me what
human mind can comprehend. He's like, okay, what does it look like?
He's literally crying and drooling out of his mouth. He's so horrified. And John's like, yeah, just tell me what you see.
Yep. Throughout this, we get shots of Cain and Abel from earlier in the story.
These guys keep showing up.
They're poopy. But then all hell breaks loose. Pun intended. In hell, fucking Etrigan goes to prepare.
I like his idea of putting on armor is just grabbing like little gross like water things and putting it on his face.
The spikes.
Yeah, his spikes. Like there's freaking.
He has starfishes over his eyes.
He puts these starfish over his eyes.
He puts a scorpion on his head that he stabs with his head spikes.
Yeah, that's not armor.
He looks ridiculous.
I like it though.
And Mento's watching it happen. He's like, "Oh my god, this sick freak's armor is alive! It's alive, John." He's like, "Yeah, that's Etrigan. He's pretty cool. You ever meet Jason Blood?" It's a sweet hang.
John's like,
he's got good weed.
John's like, what's something doing right now? Oh my god, he's talking to this gross yellow demon. He's putting all this shit on him. He's like, yeah, that's Etrigan. That's my boy.
That's the homie. Oh, Etrigan put his armor on?
What's this gross fucking... John's all like...
Etrigan put his armor on? That's sick, dude.
Oh shit, he's putting on his dope-ass armor? You call that armor?
You call that armor? Those are bugs!
Oh yeah,
and then Dr. Fate shows up in the afterlife in hell, and he's like, habba-dabba-dabba-dabba, habba-da. And they're like, we can't understand you with that helmet on.
There's no mouthpiece for your helmet.
And then Stranger shows up with a bunch of fucking disco bulbs, and he's like, these are angels.
I forgot about that part. He just comes in with a bunch of orbs with faces on
angels.
it.
They're literal. They're
That's so dude.
Men call them Valkyries or angels.
Oh,
and
man.
Swamp Thing's like, hey, yo, you're friends with angels?
Dude, Phantom Stranger.
He's
he
like,
was
I
in
have
Injustice.
acquaintances. Like, they're work colleagues.
That's fine. Etrigan brings some demons. Phantom Stranger brings some angels.
Etrigan brings a couple of Rhymers and a horde of demons. Mento's like, what the fuck?
What are you making
have
me look?
watch, dude? There's like a plant man. There's some kind of trapeze artist there.
Yeah, so this is cool. They have a little seance going on to like give power to the
people
thing.
fighting them. They're giving them magical power to help fight. And as the seance is happening, right? Etrigan, the boy, first one to dive into the attack the evil.
The evil. So pretty much this evil is just like this big black wall of darkness.
It's a giant. It looks actually more. I would say it's
like
more
a vortex,
like a giant
right?
vortex.
Yeah,
of
it's a
black.
vortex.
Yeah. Etrigan jumps in it.
Completely gets fucked. He talks to it a little bit.
The darkness talks to everything he consumes. He's like, little thing, what are you? What am I? Like, what is this? Like, what is the light? Tell me what I am. And then Etrigan is like, you're fucking evil, dude.
Your name is evil. Absence of God's light, his shadow, partner. Locked in endless fight.
And then the evil's like, okay.
All right, well, you're not cool.
That's not helpful.
Spits him out and like...
and then the evil notices that the seance is watching them and starts to attack them.
They start to... Oh, my God, yeah.
Because then Sargon's like, hey, it feels a little hot in here. Everyone's like...
Let's step back a little bit.
Okay.
It's funny because like this, when they're getting ready for their seance, like Mento's completely freaking out. He's like worried about they're going to die. And John's like, hey, we're not going to die. It's going to be fine. I mean... as long as you do as I say, you won't die. He's like, wait, so we are gonna die? He's like, no, you won't die as long as we keep doing what we're saying.
As long as you do what I say.
And Sargon's there too. He's all like, why the heck is this Mento guy everywhere? This guy's not a real magic man. We can handle this. And then he's literally the first guy that dies.
Also, it's funny because he's like it starts to happen, or like he's like, remember, don't break the circle. Whatever you do, don't break the circle.
Right.
Okay,
you can't
Whatever
let go.
Whatever happens, do not let go of everyone's hands.
These like hot spots start coming off him because start feeling hot.
Combusts.
He spontaneously combusts. And what sucks is that
I like it. I like because Sargon goes, no. One of you must help me. I am Sargon. You cannot let this happen.
I am Sargon.
And then Baron Winter is like, Sargon, you are upsetting my. Or Zartana is like, Sargon, you're upsetting my daughter. For the honor of our profession, be silent and die like a sorcerer.
Like,
and then he goes, yeah, you're right, my bad.
Yeah, like, you all right. Forgive me, my friends. And then he just died. What sucks is that... who's between them? I think it's John and Satara. They got to hold on to his hand or else they'll break the seance and they all die.
John and I think Zatara
they're still holding his hands because they cannot let go. So they pretty much burn their hands holding on to this guy who's on fire. It's fucking sucky. They're all feeling this overwhelming presence, like because they're using their magic abilities.
And Mento's like, he just spontaneously combusted, dude. He just did that.
John's all like, keep
John's
going.
Like, it's all right. The circle wasn't broken. We can carry on. And he's like, and then Zatanna's like, but John, you're
Your hand?
Sargon's dead in your hand. And he's like, dude, fucking, can we just...
do not break the circle.
We'll keep doing this until that happens to every one of us if we need to. At that point, I'd have been like, yo, fuck, what the fuck?
You can't let go. You can't let your hands go, Christian. If you're in that seance, you can't let go, or else they all die. So after that...
Cut to
Dr. Fate
gets
going into the... He goes into the darkness.
And the fight scenes are cool, because they're fighting demons the whole time. They're fighting hordes of demons and shit. So Dr. Fate is like blasting demons. Dead Man is like, all right, cool. And then they go in together, and Fate gets sucked in, and the thing is like, hey, what is evil? And then Dr. Fate's like, evil sucks, it's poopy doo-doo. And then he's like, well, all right, whatever.
Spits him out, defeated.
And then the angels go in, no effect.
Oh my God. And then Stranger's all like, well, that's all I can do. I'm not going in that shit.
And then the evil attacks again, and everyone's like, oh,
that is kind of scary. You got the evils attacking, and they're all trying to wonder who's going to get on fire.
Zatanna is about to burst into flames.
But her father,
Zatara, whatever his name is.
Zatara, it's Zatara.
He sacrifices himself so that she doesn't die.
So this is the death of Zatara.
He gets its attention so that she survives.
She's just angry.
Big Boy shows up.
Oh, Big Boy!
The
Spectre!
He tries to get as tall as the Typhoon. It's big. It gets bigger than him.
Oh my! It's trying to flex him.
It does. And then he starts trying to wrestle it like it's a big worm.
He's trying to wrestle that big worm.
Look at him. I got it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get this worm. It's like, dude, if you would have just stopped that bird. He's like, nah, this is fun.
Hold on there. Let me wrangle up this worm. But then he gets sucks in.
And then it's like, hey, I have a question for you. He's like, what is anguish? What is it? What is evil for? What's the purpose of evil? And then he's like, evil is only here so that I can punish it. And he's like, no, that's not it.
That's
and then
not an answer. He spits out the Spectre dead. Oh my God. I think that's the only time I've seen him that fucked up.
His hood wasn't even on. And then our boy Swamp
Thing just walks into it.
He's like, he looks around. He's like, oh, this is fucked, huh? We're fucked.
Well, we're fucked.
We're all fucked. And then John's communicating with, I know everyone. Mento is like,
John's all like, what's the Swamp Thing doing? What is the Swamp Thing doing? He's all like, well, it's walking into it.
He's just walking into it calmly.
Yeah, keep talking.
And then he's like, hey, what is evil? And then Swamp Thing's like, I don't even know, man. I don't know what's going on with you.
Even Swamp Thing's all like, hey, man, I just want to get back home.
With these trees. And they said some weird shit to me.
I just want to go back to my wife and like have sex with her, with my sick potatoes. I don't want to be here. He doesn't exactly say that, but you guys know what I'm talking about. He goes in this deep conversation with the darkness, and
he like basically he's like, I don't think he's like, what is evil? Is it evil that the vulture eats the dead corpse? Is it evil that the lion hunts the gazelle? Is it evil that the mushrooms decompose the body? Is it evil that the roots disrupt the graveyard? Like, what is evil? Like, I'm just nature. And then the thing is like, oh. Okay, yeah, you can go.
So he walks. So while the darkness,
stranger and Dead Man are like, yo, did he just beat something that the stranger got the Spectre got his ass kicked by?
He like while Spectre and Dr. Fate got spit out and defeated. Here comes Swamp Thing just walking out. Like, hey, yeah, I talked to it already.
And then the primeval turns into a hand.
Yeah, and starts reaching towards the light.
God's hand, because God's hand comes down. And then, like, I think there's peace. I think that's, like, meant to, like, there's a balance has been made.
The darkness and the light is making peace right now.
Well, there's a balance. The balance is being struck.
Yeah. And Mento's
just like, I don't fucking get it.
Yeah, Mento's mind literally fucking collapses watching this whole thing, dude.
You did that to him, Constantine.
The embodiment of good and evil holding hands and, like, making a balance of the earth is so, like, huge and incomprehensible for his, mortal
what's
mind.
It look like? Tell us, John. Tell us.
John's like just tell him.
Focus up.
Wait, tell us what's going on. It's like, I don't even know what's going on, John.
It looks like his helmet's smoking. There's smoke coming out of his ears. The helmet's busted too. Look at that.
Yeah,
the helmet is broken.
Well, they did the seance.
All is good. Everything is in balance again.
Swamp Thing can go back home to have sex.
Swamp Thing can go back home. And then in volume 5,
oh my God, we literally.
It's a short one.
I just forgot we have that.
It's a short one. It's a short one.
Let's just get through a little bit.
It's a short one because Swamp Thing needs to go back to his wife, who at this point has been arrested, put on trial, made bail, fired from her job, and then made a run on it. Yeah. And she made a run. She moves to Gotham to try and lay low.
But then she gets discovered.
She gets discovered by...
Oh, Gordon? Was it Gordon Harvey Bullock?
Harvey Bullock.
Harvey Bullock,
Just Harvey Bullock. Dude, you don't want to talk about the Harvey Bullock issues?
Oh, you can tell me. It's like I said, it's been like 2 years since I read this part. There he is. Yeah, that's him, right? He has to be. He's eating something.
Look at that. Look at that. You're telling me you forgot
oh
this?
My God.
You're telling me you forgot about this?
I can't believe yes.
Harvey Bullock
it's coming back
picks
to
her
me.
Up off the street, books her. There's a fat lady in the prison who's like, I did this and I did this. What are you here for? And she's like, I fucked a vegetable. And she's like, ooh. Oh, she was shoplifting fish sticks. She had 6 boxes of fish sticks down her shirt, and then they scooped her up. Where is she?
So my favorite thing about Harvey Bullock, if you guys don't know, is that usually writers who know Harvey Bullock know that if he's going to be in a panel, he has to be either eating something or smoking. You got my boy Harvey Bullock doing both right now. He's eating this big sub sandwich with a cigar in his hand. It's great. That's how you should write Harvey Bullock.
Meanwhile, this is all happening. She's in prison in Gotham. Swamp Thing is looking for her in Louisiana. Can't find her, but Abigail, again, magically in tune, realizes that her husband is back, starts sending out signals. He picks them up and goes to Arkham, dude. Or he goes to Gotham, which is a city, so he's trying to get used to it. He's trying to figure out ways to get in there.
It's probably the grossest city in America.
Yeah. And then he, goes... Oh, and then the what are these guys?
I don't know. There's some...
The DDI or whatever? Yeah, the DDI come... and they are like, hey, Gordon Bullock, this is our case. This is our lady. Because they're looking for Swamp Thing, and this is Abigail. He goes to Arkham, visits Woodrow, the Floronic Man.
The Floronic Man.
Again, insane in Arkham because of Swamp Thing. And then he's all like Renfielding him. He's like, oh, Master, you've come to free the city. And then Swamp Thing's like, nah, dude, I'm just here for my girl.
I'm just looking for my babe.
And then Abigail gets a rose while she's in... what is it? She gets a rose while she's in court, and fucking Swamp Thing shows up.
That's a nice
covered in
thing.
Roses.
Yeah, I like that.
Attacks everybody. Is like, give me my wife back.
When they refuse, you know what he does? He gets so angry that he sprouts vegetation all over the city.
Yep. He makes it into an urban jungle, and he makes the fruit and the yams. And we all know,
the yams start growing in places.
Well, he makes the fruit. So we already know that Swamp Thing can have mind-altering effects with his plants and his hormones. And that's what happens because everyone starts acting like they're in the Temple of, or the Garden of Eden.
But guess what? You're in Batman's territory. He sees all this.
We can't stop here. This is Bat County.
Yeah, so Batman tries to stop it. But I just want to also say that before, we talk about that, when Swamp Thing covers this whole city in vegetation, it actually does not cause a panic among people.
People like it. It makes the city better.
Yeah, they do say that people are going restless, but they also mention how people are actually outside and because there's food everywhere. Not just the sex potatoes, actual fruits.
Yeah.
So
the sex potatoes don't show up until a little later.
Yeah, so the fruits and vegetables, people can just go out and start eating this stuff, and they don't even have to go to work.
He makes a paradise. He turns Gotham into a paradise.
It's a great paradise.
Yeah, it's a paradise bestowed on an unwanting nobody asked for it.
Yeah.
So Batman tries to go and stop him. Oh, Chester also shows up. He goes to Gotham. Chester goes to Gotham.
Gotta look for those sex potatoes.
Batman shows up and is like, dog, get out of my city. And he's like, can we just talk about this? He's like, nope, can't.
I want my wife.
And then Batman's like, is that the last word? And he's like, that's the last word. And then Batman hops out the Batcopter.
With a flamethrower, dog.
And he's like, all right, let's do this.
Let's do this.
Burns one Swamp Thing down. Swamp Thing grows 6 more. He goes, uh-oh. And then one of my favorite sequences of all comics happens here where Swamp Thing just absolutely beats the shit.
Yeah, he starts punching the all these Swamp Things are just punching the shit out of Batman.
The fuck out
Look
of
at his
dude.
face.
Look at this. Look, what is this one doing over here? And what is this one doing over here?
This one's taking a picture.
Yeah, and this one's just throwing a yam for no reason.
They're going insane.
They're going absolutely batshit insane. And then Swamp Thing turns into all the wood in the area and gives a warning. He's like, I want my wife back, or I will fucking destroy this city.
And then
also people start cheering for him. They're like,
"Oh
his wife
yeah,
back.
yeah,
We
that's
love
awesome!"
Swamp Thing.
Like
We
people
love him.
are actually behind him on this.
And then Batman recovers and goes to Commissioner Gordon and is like, "Hey man, fucking give him his wife back."
I do not want to fight this guy, especially
Give
when
him his wife back.
Well, and he was all like, "Do you not know what his wife did?" And he's like, "I don't care. Do you not see the city right now? It doesn't matter
He
what
said,
she
perhaps
did."
Gotham should release the woman. Surrender? You're kidding. I never thought I'd see you suggest that. I wouldn't. Not if I was sure of the laws I was defending. What crime did she commit, Commissioner? Who exactly did she hurt or abuse? And he's like, it's not that simple. She banged a monster. And he's like, well, then you better go arrest Lois Lane. And they're like, what? And he's like, nothing. Because he's like, cause that's what he starts saying. He's like, oh, so then in that case, are all of these people criminals? Like everyone who's married to a metahuman, are they criminals? Like Jean Laurie, you think she's a criminal?
Yeah.
Well, that hasn't happened yet.
Well, that hasn't happened yet. We know things.
We are the monitors.
In a way, we are the monitors.
We are all the monitors, comic enjoyers.
You're dumb.
I'm an idiot. Swamp Thing shows up as a big kaiju.
Like a wooden kaiju.
Give me my wife. I'm a big kaiju now, and now I'm not. And he just lets it die, and it falls.
Well, he didn't have to do
That's
that.
all he does. Look, he shows up. He says he just it shows them that he can be real scary.
This
and
big
then he
tree
falls
monster.
over.
It's so good.
And the Batman's like, let the woman go, dude. Come on. And then eventually they do. They do let her go, and there's a big like, ooh, there's gonna be a reunion.
Yeah, but this was like a setup,
but
though.
then the DDI hired Lex Luthor to build a scrambler. So they shoot a signal scrambler in the back of his skull, so he can't connect to the green. It disrupts the signal.
There we go.
That
Yeah,
he sends to the green.
So right when
and
they free
fucking
Abigail
hit him with the napalm.
Yeah, right when they free Abigail, they embraced, but then that's right when Lex's goons hit him with that shit.
See who that is?
Is that Man Thing?
That's Man Thing back there, dude.
Is that seriously Man Thing? That's cool.
Isn't that neat?
If that's like a cool little reference,
cool, right?
I think that'd be cool.
I think that's really neat. I think he does that on intentionally in these books.
I like that. I like how all these people look like they're from the city.
They're all from the city. They're all people Swamp Thing helped, and they just watched Swamp Thing die.
Yeah. So Swamp Thing dies because of that scrambler. He cannot get connected to the green. So for the rest of this book.
It's some Abigail stories.
It's an Abigail story, and you were like, "What the fuck happened to Swamp Thing?"
Chester,
oh shit! Batman comes to Abigail and gives his condolences. So did Commissioner Gordon. Yeah. And there's like a little funeral service in Gotham.
And then there's like this like Abigail and Alex crazy friend who has a crazy husband.
Do you know this guy? Do you remember this guy?
I do remember this
guy. That was
guy.
from the first issue.
I do remember that guy.
That's awesome. I thought they because like in the book one. These characters before the Alan Moore run, they just kind of drove off.
They're like, yes, sucks about what happened to Alec. Bye.
Yeah, bye. I was going to drive off now because like they're getting chased by the government. That's what happened. They feel like the government's after them.
Yeah.
So this guy's
been false imprisoning his girlfriend, making so though she doesn't leave her apartment,
like manipulating her into thinking that like there are people out there wanting to get her because
they're not.
Because she was a novelist who was writing about the Swamp Thing.
Yeah,
so she's fearing that the government's trying to take her away or some kind of hitman because they did almost die from an explosion that was set up. For them.
But this guy's taking it way too far. He's abusing her. He's abusing this woman.
So Abigail has
to save her from this guy, and she's like, I wish Alec were here.
I wish Alec was here, but she's cool.
But she takes him to the swamp anyways, and he like dives into the swamp water to try and get him. And he's like, oh, my gun's jammed. That's not gonna stop me when I get over there to you. Oh, you're gonna wish my gun wasn't jammed. And then he gets eaten by alligators.
He get eaten by the alligators. Awesome.
Yeah, see, that's the thing about the damn Louisiana swamps, man. You got the gators in there.
I like to think that because she hangs out in the swamp all the time, I think the gators know her.
They're friends.
Yeah.
Unlike the alien gator. And then after that, she finds the strength to go and actually say some words for the Swamp Thing memorial and do the whole funeral. And then she has a dream about him. This is just Abby missing Swamp Thing. A lot of that.
Yeah, you don't even know what happened to Swamp Thing yet.
Yeah, it's sad, dude. She keeps finding dead bodies of Swamp Thing all over the
people
place.
Keep coming to her.
The stranger
to condolences.
And John and the stranger show up and tell her that, like, hey, he's dead. He's not coming back. I can't find him in heaven. No one's been able to contact. No one's seen him. Like,
well, that means.
And then this drunk dude shows up who's like, "Hey, my name's Boston Brand, baby. Your Swamp Thing isn't in heaven or hell, which means he's somewhere out there."
Yeah, giving her.
And then Bullock's like, "Hey, creep, get out of here."
Oh yeah, that guy that he possessed gets in trouble.
Yeah. And the funeral is very beautiful, and it's all very somber, and there's some hope to it. And then we're in space.
Yeah, it turns out
and a little blue plant somewhere on some distant planet
because
Swamp
Thing couldn't connect to the green,
so he connected to the blue.
So he had to shoot his memory. He had to shoot his mind out into space to go look for green to be in, and he ended up on this blue planet.
He ended up on this blue planet. He started walking.
This is the blue issue.
Do you think this is the blue beetle planet, by the way? Because look, he finds this beetle.
That is impressive, dude. I want to. That's canon now.
It looks a little bit like the blue beetle. I don't know.
Blue beetle. I was on a planet that was full of blue.
He makes himself balls that can inflate, that he can fly.
Yeah,
around
he's a little disoriented and
he's
crazy.
He's experimenting with all the different plant life on this new
biosphere.
Yeah, and then he makes a clone of himself, and they play chess for a while. And then he's like, "That's boring." So
then
he
builds his abbey. He builds himself an abbey.
He makes an abbey, which is creepy.
Oh, he misses her, dude.
And then he makes a town. And then he makes a town of people. And then he makes a town of people. And then he makes Constantine, but he doesn't remember making Constantine.
Oh, that's so funny.
Because he's enjoying his fake little life that he's created for himself.
So he subconsciously created a Constantine. Hey there, Swamp Thing. I'm made from your subconscious. You could call me Subconstantine. What are you doing here, Constantine?
Get out of
Even
here.
in my blue heaven, you're still fucking up my life.
And then Abby's like, let's go home and bang. And then she like gets naked, and then she like starts smiling at him, and he's like, your smile is wrong. It's not hers.
He punched her.
Yeah, he kills her.
The smile's all wrong.
He rips her head off. He goes crazy.
Dude, he's mad. He misses her,
He went
dude.
insane on this planet, dude.
Look, that's a face of him. He's doing the scream face right now. So, or the Home Alone face.
Look, he picks her up, tries to kiss her again.
He picks up the head.
Tries to kiss the head.
You're right. That smile is not Abby's smile. That's a good issue. Good issue of Swamp
And then he
Thing.
sinks down into the blue, and I think he goes to reconnect. He's going to try and find other. He's going to try and get home. He's going to try and find the signal to get home.
If you didn't know already, you can tell by this next arc is just pretty much his conscience going through
Swamp
space.
Thing in space.
Swamp Thing in space. It's like it's like a season for like you know how usually a series
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing. You know how like some seasons have a whole dedicated season, like usually the final season's like this show in space.
Yeah,
Swamp Thing's in space.
No, literally that's how Volume 5 ends. Is it goes next mysteries in space.
Yeah, so Volume 6 is mostly space adventures.
Dude, I've already started it.
Yeah,
he does stand up.
He does?
No, he doesn't. But there's a panel where it made me think of Swamp Thing doing stand up because like, so he's like, we'll talk about it next week, but he like is lost. He's on this planet. He finds Adam Strange's backpack, and he finds the backpack has like Seattle, Washington in it. He's like, oh, someone from Earth. So
I know this.
So it goes into an alien town, and like they're like, oh my god,
It's a fucking
and
monster.
he walks into the center of town. He's like, has anyone heard of Seattle? And I'm like, yo, is he doing crowd work right now?
And then Adam Strange has to like beat him up.
He's like, oh, I got to kill that cactus monster.
That's a good issue.
That is a good issue.
Do we have time for Vision?
Do you wanna? We could save it for next week.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a lot. There's a lot to talk about with the Vision.
Here's the thing, though. I also was thinking that maybe next week we finish the Swamp Thing saga and have our pal on, perhaps.
Oh, pal, our mystery Tommy guest viewer,
our mystery guest Tommy,
our mysterious Tommy,
our surprise guest for next week, Tommy,
our surprise unnamed Tommy guest, Tommy.
Yeah, that's what they call those when there's a guest that you don't know the name of. It's a Tommy guest.
Yeah, we're gonna see if we can bring him in next week.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess we can talk about Tom King's Vision next week.
With Tommy.
With Tom. Well,
he probably won't read it.
We're going to talk all about because next week if we bring Tommy on. Look, guys, this is the end of the episode. You've made it to the end. Welcome to the end of the episode.
Congratulations. Get yourself a
next
cookie.
Next week we'll have we're going to have a guest episode.
Oh, we'll try. Well, this is kind of a last minute thing. So
no, I already texted him about it.
Oh, you did? Okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
I didn't think your text message would go through space that fast, but
well, you know me. Connected to the green and the blue and the red and whatever other planets have colored plants.
It's gonna go to an orange.
We're gonna do it.
Planet.
I was thinking we'd do a whole look back on all of Swamp Thing with him and just talk all
he is
about
a big
it
Swamp Thing
retrospectively. Now that I know stuff that I didn't know when I talked about other issues and volumes, and we could just deep dive into all 6 volumes of Swamp Thing.
I would enjoy. There's nothing more that I would love.
The week after that, we can talk about The Vision, and maybe we can talk about Doom Patrol.
Yeah, dude, heck yeah.
Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol. You think by then you'll actually be there?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do it. I'm still trudging through the annual volume, but the rest of the volumes I can breeze through.
I like how I was like, please slow down on Doom Patrol, and you're like, I ain't slowing down. I love Doom Patrol. Yeah, and now it's like this Doom Patrol though sucks.
This Doom Patrol kind of sucks.
Well, denizens, you know where to find us: Instagram, TikTok, Book Club from Planet Zero Productions on YouTube.
You can also find us in outer space if you're in the area.
If you know how to do it, if you know how to get there.
If you're in space, try to look for us.
If you subscribe to our Patreon, we might just teleport you into the studio and have you on an episode. That's happened before.
Yeah.
It will happen again.
Please sign a waiver or else your body will be, maybe.
Yeah. We figured out how to get Clay unstuck from that elephant, but,
He's
still got trauma from it.
That's the one thing he got from being inside an elephant is their memory.
And
you can't forget what happened.
If anyone is a member of our Discord, if you're not, go check us out. Join our Discord. There will be links in all of our socials. Join that Discord and maybe defend democracy with yours truly. We're playing Helldivers. Look, I will take a listener of our podcast over a random Helldiver any day.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're right. That guy we were playing yesterday. What do you remember?
The real
name?
Dr. Phil.
Yeah, we're gonna name drop him now. Yeah, hey,
there's some underscores in there and stuff like that.
Hey, Dr. Phil. Yeah, you sucked last night. I mean, you're the reason why we had no
without samples. We're getting on a tangent.
You're the reason why we had no lives left at the end of Extract. All right. See you at hell soon, guys.